So I was recording a show earlier today and I was just so sporadic with everything, and I decided to just restart the whole thing, which sucks because I got to go to bed 12 minutes ago and I still have to do a role play. And it just sucks, dude. So it's just a lack of priorities, lack of time management. And yeah, so I'm going to try to rapid fire this shit without going too in depth, even though I do want to touch on these more in depth. But anyway, first thing is I have successfully gotten rid of AT&T. I'm now with Tmobile. I made this happen so quick. If you want to listen a week ago, I was like, fuck this sucks. And now today I have Tmobile, so that's great. And yeah, so I should have so where I work, I don't have service with AT&T. It's so shitty. And with T-Mobile, it's still shitty, but it's I can do stuff. So with AT&T, things wouldn't load. With T-Mobile, it might take 10 seconds to load, and even shorter. But anyway, moral of the story is no more AT&T. I'm now with T-Mobile because I value my time of being able to work at work so much higher than, I guess, the amount I'm paying to AT&T. I actually had a little conversation with my coworker today, and I said, dude, I wouldn't even be with AT&T if it was free. And he's like, really, man? If it was free, you still wouldn't? I said, no, dude, hell no. This is crazy. Even if they paid me $100, I still wouldn't. And then he's like, no, really, kind of go back and forth. And then we left, and I started thinking about that more because I thought, how much would they have to pay me in order for me to stay with them? So now it's not about the service. It's not about this or that or whatever. It doesn't matter. The only thing that it's about for me is that I'm unable to work on my stuff at work. So I have this downtime, a lot of downtime at work, and I'm unable to use that productively most of the time for using my phone and the internet. And for example, if I could message people, then I would like to do that. Because if I message 5 people an hour, which easy, all shift, that's 50 people. Now 50 people is 50 more than I've done the entire career of my damn doing all this shit, right? So that right there, being able to do that is worth more than $100. Now I got thinking about it and I was like, okay, how much would they have to pay me in order for me to stay with them? And I thought it would have to be at least $5,000, and that would be because that's the amount of income I need per month to quit that job and do my stuff full time. So it'd be $5,000. I wouldn't stay with AT&T unless they paid me $5,000 or more. If it was $4,000, I would not do it. $5,000, I would do it. And I think that just comes down to the value of time that we place on certain things. So it's not about, I don't have service, or it's slow or whatever. It's about the fact that it's preventing me from working on my goals and working toward the thing that is going to bring me the most revenue, the most income, the most skills, the most knowledge, everything. Because think about this, I'm in circulation, I'm in talks, I'm in groups with these people who for example, there's this lady that posted in the group today. She said she's up to $7,000 this month, or $11,000 this month, I think, so far this month. It's December 11th, 2024, Wednesday, 8:15 p.m. And to make that much money in 11 days so far, to me, is just astronomical. I can't believe that. So, and there's some other guy, he's like, oh man, this crazy week, I made $3,000 this week. I'm like, dude, it's Wednesday. What the fuck do you mean? Make $3,000 in 20 days, So yeah, I just value my time, my effort, energy, all that shit so much more than really anything. And it's because I know the return on investment that I can get. I might not get a return for the next 5, 10, 15 years, but I promise to everybody who's listening, it's going to be insane what I'm able to do with all the knowledge, the skills, and consistency that happens over the next decade or two. Because in 2 decades, I'm only going to be 47, and I just think that's so young, dude. Hopefully, I'm fucking 47, Wow. So anyway, that's that. And I could dedicate a whole show to that, just how much you place value on your time. And it just breaks my heart that people just settle for so low. I mean, it breaks my own heart that I'm, quote, settling for $31.28 an hour. add two zeros to that. Call me crazy, dude, but I believe my time to be worth upwards of that. Now, I can't charge $3,000 an hour for whatever, so call it delusion. I don't really give a fuck. I'm going to leave that there. So that's kind of that. Now, next thing I wanted to talk about. So I canceled FlexPro Meals, and for numerous reasons. However, it seems like Costco, when you buy in bulk and when you plan accordingly, it just seems like it's the way to go. It seems like you're able to get pretty much everything you need for cheaper and kind of have the variety to pick and choose and mix and match and stuff like that. So FlexPro Meals is great. They had good meals. Most of the meals were good, I should say. The customer service was shit. They would bribe me with $10 every 2 weeks to give them a review on the service that I received that day. And every single time I hadn't received any kind of service, it was just somebody saying, "Hey, did your order get arrived? Did your order arrive okay?" And I say, "Yep." And they say, "Cool, you want to leave a $10 review based on the service you received today? We'll give you $10 off your next order." And I'm like, "Bro, eat my ass. No, I will never leave a review if you're going to bribe me for it." That's so shady, dude. That's so shitty. Because now all those reviews that I was like, "Oh, this is a good company. They got so many reviews." They were made because people were bribed with $10 based on the service they got that day. It's not even talking about the food, not talking about the customer service overall. It's only talking about that goddamn text. And that's so shitty. Not to mention my first 3 orders with them were all fucked up. So I don't know the number. Maybe I've had 16 orders with them. I don't know what the number is. And I would say at least 8 or 9 of them have been screwed up in some way. So my first 3, it was the wrong size meals. And then there was like 5 meals that were broken into from shipping. And then there was some kind of shipping problem with one of the carriers. So my shit got delayed over a weekend. And I didn't get it until the next day, or the next Monday. And it was, the food was it was cool. It wasn't cold. So that got me worried. And then I'll order certain foods that it doesn't go in time. So I miss it. And then it orders me stuff that I didn't even order. It just a whole lot of shit, man. And so I said, okay, enough of this, man. This is ridiculous. So for $208.99, I would get 21 meals, and that would last me 2 weeks. And I thought, what if I just spent that? Because what I do is right now I budget $250 bi-weekly for FlexPro and then random miscellaneous grocery items. So $500 a month. And I was like, if I just go to Costco, I could probably bring that down to 200, even if it's not even about the money, dude. It's just about having the variety and having the things that I need to succeed in my goals. If that costs more, then so be it. If it costs less, then that's a bonus. But if I spend even more, if I spend $300 bi-weekly at Costco, at least I'm getting a shit ton of options, a lot of variety. A lot of the things will last me for quite some time. I can mix and match those with other foods and blah, blah, blah. So this particular food prep service, FlexPro, was a good first run. And the reason why I got started with them in the first place, because I was still working my 3 jobs: FedEx, cleaning FedEx trucks, FedEx being a ground delivery driver, and then working Hill Air Force Base, being an F-35 canopy repairman. And I just kind of got upset one Sunday night, and I thought, dude, fuck this. I'm not meal prepping anymore. This is some horse shit. And so that night, I signed up for FlexPro and got my shit going. And it's been great. It's been a great experience. It's been awesome to have people cook my food for me like that with such variety and with the macros and stuff. But the food, the dishes are so small. A large meal, max, maybe 400, 500 calories. There's a couple that go into the 700 range, but that's it. So if I'm trying to bulk up, I'd like my meals to be closer to the 1,000 calorie range. And we're talking a large meal here. So their smalls are 25% smaller than that. There's some large meals that only have 300 calories. The fuck you want me to do with 300 calories, dude? Yes, it might be more nutritious foods. Yes, it might be whole foods. Yes, it might be all these things, but I'm trying to get big. What the fuck you want me to do with 300 calories, dude? That's a Mountain Dew right there. You know? And I know that it's different. I get it. Fully understand. Thanks. So there's that. The other thing, so I noticed the other day, and I may have already talked about this yesterday, I don't know. But the other day, I was getting my client, Jaden, set up into the program. There was a lot of things that I realized were not working the way they should, or it wasn't outlined the way it should have been, and it was kind of disorganized, and I thought, holy shit. So I was trying to get him squared away to make sure he understood everything because he's an actual person in the program. Paid or free, doesn't matter. He's in the program. I want to get him results. And I will say, honestly, it does kind of suck that he got the scholarship because he's already been in my program and I already have a testimonial from him. And I already have a great before and after. And I already have a video testimonial. Like, he's a great guy and he gave me all these things. So when he does it again, because he will, it's going to be the same face, the same guy, another transformation from the same person. So it kind of sucks because I know he's going to give me a transformation. I know he's going to give me a great testimonial, but I've already got his name associated with all this stuff. So kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. Nonetheless, I'm going to help the guy out, and that's what I'm here to do. So that's cool. But with me helping him and doing all that stuff all at once, and so I was doing that. I was also on a live chat with AT&T trying to figure some shit out there. I was also going back and forth with some emails at work trying to get that squared away because we had to have these people come in and they pretty much just scan our canopy to make sure there's no cracks in it, whatever. And I was getting that set up. Meanwhile, I'm trying to watch, or I'm trying to, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to get the shit figured out for my new group, looking at all the videos, making sure I'm good there. And I had so many different things going on at once. I was on my phone, had 2 chat things pulled up, doing something with me. I had all this shit going on, so it was just like bouncing back and forth, boom, boom, boom. And I loved that, dude. It was just, I had so many different things happening all at once at just the right pace where it was like, yeah, I love being able to do this because I'm on fire right now. And I don't have, my mind doesn't have time to just wander. I don't have time to think about what if. I'm just working ferociously, you know? And it was a great feeling. And I think maybe for me specifically, maybe, and this is just a theory, maybe that's the kind of environment that I need to be in. And maybe that's why it's kind of a struggle when I'm sitting at home by myself, quiet as fuck, and I just have a laptop. So maybe it would be better if I had multiple things going on at once here. Maybe if I was talking to a client and I was also messaging people, boom, 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 trying to get 10 in the next 15 minutes or something like that. And then also posting in the group. And then maybe I just need to work 10 times faster, even if the quality of the product is cut in half. I mean, I think that's great because, for example, if every hour I work gives me a point, it's just a way I can quantify it and make it an easy example. If every hour I work gives me a point, but if I'm doing 10 times the work in that hour, but it's all even 3/4 shittier of a product, if I'm doing 10 times the work, that's 10 points. But if it's 3/4 the quality, that means I'm getting 2.5 points. Now, 2.5 points is still better than 1. So that's an extreme example. But even if I'm doing 10 times, so since I'm doing 10 times the work, I would still be getting, so I guess what I'm trying to say is, even though I would be doing more work and I'd be getting less quality, I would be getting more, quote, points. And I'd be getting better, faster with the thing that I'm working on. And also, I'd like it more, I think, because my mind doesn't have time to sit idle. I'm always occupied with something. And then that got me thinking, I'm like, oh, that makes sense, because at work, it's like when we have downtime, I want to go and do something and try to learn something and explore my curiosities with different tools and different layouts, and honestly just engineering shit with building my push cart with different pieces of aluminum and different screws and all this shit. Just trying to do it to have fun with it. You know, I've joked around about exchanging my cart that has all these modifications, and it sounds so dumb. All I do is drill holes in it, put things in there, bend things to different places, put boxes here, put boxes there, put tape here, put tape there, and just hold all the stuff that I possibly can. And it's not about the tools or the things that it can hold. It's about actually making the shit, which I find joy in. So they could throw the cart away. I could donate. I don't care. I like to make the thing, make the cart the way I just enjoy that. So, and I think that's because I have to always be thinking. I have to always be trying something. I always have to be moving forward, because there's plenty of modifications I made to that goddamn thing that have flopped and that have been ass. But other ones, they stuck and they're great. Other ones, they are still going strong, but I don't like it, so I'll probably have to redo them. And for those who might not have any idea what I'm talking about, I have this push cart at work. It holds all my tools, all my disposable shit, all my rags, all my paperwork, everything. So it's just a push cart. and it's plastic. And all I do is I drill holes in that and put these little metal, we call them shims, these very tiny, or sorry, these very thin, I'm going to call them beams. They're very thin, but very thin beams of aluminum that have holes in them for a fastener to go through. I take those and I just drill different designs into them to hold a box on the side, or to hold, or to be a shelf, or to enclose some kind of organization box, whatever. And so keeping my mind occupied with that and the curiosities and trying to figure out different ways and really thinking outside the box on how I can do those things, that I love. I love doing that. So I think I need to apply that same exact concept, that same exact principle, lesson, whatever you want to call it, to what I'm doing here. So I think I just need to just be so curious and try everything. And I think a huge part of why I like that at work now is because I do it all the time now. And so the thought of, oh, people are going to fucking judge me. People are going to hate this. People are going to call me a dork. I'm going to get this. People are going to laugh. I think it's been a great exercise for me because I've noticed over the course of the last 3 or 4 months, I just don't give a fuck, dude. I mean, I had a girl in the shop that we work with tell me to my face, "Hey, that Carly Davidson belongs in the trash," and that's what we call the goddamn thing because it's not a Harley Davidson, it's a Cartley Davidson, and that's the joke. But she says, "Yeah, it belongs in the trash," and rather than getting all defensive and getting all upset in my feels and whatever the fuck about like, oh, why can't she? It is annoying and it forever always will be annoying. But I just said, and continued working on my laptop, dude. And she probably ate a Twinkie. I'm going to hell. Don't care. So that's that. And a few months ago, you could probably go back and listen on the show, but I would get so upset. Not upset. I would get so, yeah, I guess I'm upset. I would get so upset when I would get upset mentally when someone would come over and be like, "What are you working on now?" And I would say, "Oh, I'm doing this." And they would just laugh like, "Oh, Bryson." It's like, shut the fuck up, bro. At least I'm doing something with my mind. I'm not just sitting on my phone. And that's why I would take it. But now it's just like, I don't even give a fuck, bro. I'm having a good time. People want to make judgments, call me autistic, do all this shit, because people do. It's crazy. Then it is what it is. And autism is a superpower, by the way. So to say got some hero powers? Hell yeah, dude. So anyway, and I think that this whole thing, what I'm talking about, has been great for me. I think it's been good for me to press on doing something that makes me feel uncomfortable, that I'm in some ways fearful of, the judgment and the laughed at and the name calling, all that stuff. I'm not fearful of those things. They're very undesirable and I'd prefer they didn't happen, So I guess overcoming that to some extent, or getting comfortable with, like I just don't give a fuck if people are looking or if people are watching. I'm having a good time, and I think it's a great mind teaser, mind test, whatever you want to call it. And it helps me out. So if I just apply that same principle to working at home, if I were to just operate ferociously, I said that word twice now in the show, if I were to just operate so quick and make so many mistakes, make so much mess, I think that overall I would be happier knowing that I really gave it hell, because there's a tornado in my mind, in my laptop, in my room, metaphorically speaking, of course. But work got done, lessons were learned, knowledge obtained, and we can refine that for the next day, and then rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Because like I was talking, we have that girl in the group that I was talking about yesterday or 2 days ago, how she is going to send 100 DMs a week, and I'm going to send 100 DMs a day, and just how much quicker that would compound. So I actually want to, can't be doing this, man. I got no time for this shit, but we're going to do it because I love numbers. So I'm going to pull up a spreadsheet, and we're going to run the numbers real quick because I like this stuff. So hold on one sec. Let's get this going. Okay, so if 100 DMs oops. There we go. Hold on, guys. guys, sorry about this. I'm trying to get this ready. So if 100 DMs equals 1 point, and then I add this, let's see, plus. Gotta go like this. 0.01, 1 point. Wait, what the hell? Sorry guys, 1 second. I feel like I'm doing this wrong. Okay, so there we go. No, that's not correct. I'm going to pause and figure this out. Hold on, guys. Math ain't mathing right now. I paused for about 5 minutes, but all I'm trying to say is, going back to what I was talking about, that girl said she's going to do 100 DMs per week. I said I'm going to do it per day. And if she gets a point for every 100 DMs she sends, but that point is knowledge, experience, wisdom, etc. Wow, I said etc. etc. Then she's going to get 1 XP point per week. If I do it per day, then I'm going to get the XP point for the first day that she would get in the first week, and then I'm going to take all that stuff that I learned there from 100, apply it to day 2, then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6, and then 7. Before you know it, what did I say? It was like 22 points more, something like that. I can't remember. Just by putting in exponentially more work, and I keep beating this to death, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. I can't remember where I was getting into this. But yeah, if I can just work harder, faster, quicker, and not even more efficient, but just make more, just do more, I think I'll be better off. And this is a theory, so I have to test it out. But we'll see. So I think that's all I wanted to talk about this show. There's one more thing, actually. Okay, so what do I need to do per month to get all these crazy numbers, right? So if I'm doing 100 DMs a day, that's 3,000 per month. Now, it's tedious and it's difficult, and I don't want to set this goal right now and then tomorrow I get into work and my service is still shit, because that would be upsetting. However, it is not the end of the world, so whatever. So if I lost my train of thought, dude, not gonna lie. Oh yeah, so if I were to do 100 a day, that's 3,000 a month, and then I combine that with how many posts I want to make on social media per month. So that's 30 reels, 10 value posts, 10 connection posts, 10 social proof posts, and that would be, because there's 60 posts there in a month, that'd be 60 captions that I have to write. And if I'm doing 30 reels, that's 1 a day. Probably 3 to 4 film sessions to get this done, which is also another, I don't know, maybe 10, 20 hours of editing, all that stuff. I got to do all these things. I got to fit that into a month. Now, when I put the big numbers like that up on the board and I think about, oh, wow, I got to send 3,000 DMs this month. I got to make 30 reels. That means I got to film probably 3 to 4 times. When I make all those big numbers and I put them out there like that, that sounds kind of intimidating. But also, I kind of like the pool work, meaning this is the pool of work, of tasks, whatever you want to call it, that I need to get done for the month, piece at it however I want, just stay consistent, stay on top of it. And maybe that's the FedEx speaking in me, because I absolutely loved that. It was, you get in the morning, you get your truck, you take as long as you need, you go as fast as you want, as slow as you want, just get the shit delivered and come home. It's all up to you, just get it done. And I like that a lot, because if I wasn't feeling it one day, maybe I wouldn't run to the door, maybe I'd do a light jog. Or maybe if I was sick off my ass, maybe I would just walk. And that's what I did. Maybe if I was feeling it, I could just run, and I just run and get the shit done and do 40 stops an hour and be done with, a 200 stop day, making $400 in 5 hours. And I could do that. And it seems like with other jobs, it's like you're going to make $31.28 an hour no matter what you do, no matter how hard you work, no matter how slow you work, and you work the same amount of time every day. Just don't pass away during that time frame. That sucks. So anyway, I think maybe if I just put it into a pool like that and I can piece from it and maybe subtract and do some numbers, I don't know. make an Excel sheet for that. You could just make the number and then each day subtract how many I did. I don't know. That's an idea. So that's what I need to get done per month. And I like that idea a lot for numerous reasons. One of them being at the end of the month, I can look back and see all the actions that I took on a daily basis and then compare that with the progress that I made or the income that I generated or, all of the above. So I can look back and say, oh, I got lazy. I only sent 30 DMs this whole month and I only made 3 reels and I didn't make any money. Oh, but look at this month. I sent 2,985 messages. I made 57 reels. I made 47 total I made 47 total posts for the month. And I did this, and this. I actually made $3,000. Okay, so this is a good start. So if I want to make $3,000 again, I got to do these numbers. And then maybe I find that I get better and better and better. And after 6 or 7 months, I'm like, oh, okay, I got to do these numbers to get $12,000 a month. Okay, so I can keep on doing that because I did it for the last 6 months. Here we go. Now, I know I'm talking theory. I know I'm talking what ifs and magicals and all this stuff. But it's truth. It's just reality. It's just what will happen if I stay the course and put in the work. And now it's very tedious work, but if it weren't tedious, everyone would do it. So everyone would have the goal or have achieved the goal. Everyone would be doing what I'm doing, and therefore it would kind of lose the magic touch and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say for this show. And I'm going to end this, and then I'm going to record I'm not going to record, but I will do a sales role play because it's part of the Blade. I believe today is day 10. Let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, today's day 10. So we are a third of the way through the Blade after we go to sleep tonight. So that's pretty cool. Blade 1 done, man. Almost done. Blade 1 done. Okay, that's it. Thanks for listening, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.